Well, Marie-Therese gave me the recipe for her crepes at Crepes Jocelyn, and it started out 5 pounds of flour, 40 eggs, I don't remember how much sugar, but she was very happy to share her recipe with me. But for the purposes of making these at home, I thought I would go back to the recipe that I've been using for years and years. It's out of an old Bon Appetit from 1988, and I tweaked it just a little bit after meeting with her because I thought there were some things that she did that I really liked. And so I took that recipe and just changed it a little bit, and we're going to make that today. So first thing we do is we get flour, and that's just all-purpose flour, a little bit of sea salt, and to that we're going to add some milk, and that's whole milk, and 3 eggs. I'm not using my hand to beat this up, I'm just going to use the old-fashioned spoon, wooden spoon. I might need a whisk actually. I think I am going to grab a whisk. Okay, whisk, where are you? Got one right there. Okay, grabbing whisk. Here we go. Alright, so she really worked this batter to make sure that the eggs were incorporated before she added the butter. The butter's really the last thing that goes in there. Like a pancake batter, you don't want to work it too much, but I am trying to work out some of the lumps. So there you go. That's what that batter looks like. And now we're just going to add the melted butter. That's 5 tablespoons of melted butter. Put that in there. Just a little bit of butter, right? And stir that together. And what I'm going to do now is get the skillet ready to make the crepes. Okay, the batter should have the consistency of whipping cream. So if it's a little too thin, add a little more flour. If it's too thick, add a little more milk. You're going to have to play with it a little bit. I had to actually add, you see it should look kind of like that. I had to add a little more flour because the French flour is very, very fine. It's like cake flour. So I usually have to add more flour than a recipe is called for. So I just sort of eyeballed it, and I think we've got it. Now this is my crepiere, which actually Xavier bought me because I didn't bring my comal and I wanted to make tortillas and salsas and things, but it also absolutely works for crepes, so we're gonna give this a shot. What I'm doing is using a little bit of sunflower oil. You can use vegetable oil if you want here. The original recipe called for clarified butter, but that's just one more step. And you know, why complicate things if you don't have to, right? So there we go, that's ready to go. And like pancakes, these over here, these are the rejects. It takes 2 or 3 to get the skillet to where it needs to be, and there's always a couple that you have to toss out. So there we go. If you don't have one of these little tea sticks, whoops, you've got to work fast. You can kind of tilt that pan a little bit to get the batter around, but I like to take the tea stick and smear it about like Marie-Therese does. And you see, it's quick as I'm moving, it's already starting to set up, and it's almost ready to flip. Look at that. The key again is getting that skillet hot enough, just like when you make pancakes. The first one just completely stuck. It was a disaster. Okay, so look, there you go. And you see how nice and lacy it is around the edges, just like hers were? This is what we want. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfectly round or perfectly anything. But the idea is to have a nice thin pancake. So here we go. We're going to put this over here on these. And just for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to show you guys what you can do with them. This is the one that we just made. What I do with them is I make up a whole batch and I put them in the refrigerator just with wax paper in between and stick them in a Ziploc. And then when you're ready to make a crepe, you just have to pull them out one at a time and do what they do here. You can see at the stands on the streets and things like that, they don't make them one at a time like this in front of you. They've got them pre-made, and what they do is when you want to order a crepe, let's say you want to get a sugary one or a one with some jam, they go ahead and grease that thing back up. Throw that pancake back on there, okay? We're going to pretend like it's cold and we have to reheat it. And then we get some fun little filling. In this case, I just happen to have this wonderful strawberry jam. And we just put that in there. We put that inside, like that. You can do Nutella, you can do You can put salted caramel in there. You can just sprinkle a little white sugar in there. Just bananas and Nutella, whatever you want to do. But again, these are for the sugary crepes. Now you just fold that over. Let that cook a little bit. Maybe flip it over a little bit. Because see, look how crispy we're getting right there. And that is really all you do. I mean, is that not easy? And sprinkle a little powdered sugar on that so it'll look a little bit more fancy. But that is basically the crepe. And let's cut that in. Let's cut that open and just look at that. I mean, doesn't that look good? Look.